Hey guys, so now let's talk about the Gibbsian equations and then their relations with the chemical potential. Okay, so now these are the basic equations of which involves the basic properties of thermodynamics, and then while after differentiating, we'll be having a set of Gibbsian equations. Okay, and using Gibbsian equations, you will not only get relations with respect to your chemical potential, you will also get something called Maxwell's relations, and then after finishing a huge chunk of solution thermodynamics, fluid thermodynamics, and reaction thermodynamics, I will go and I will explain about Maxwell's relations as well. Okay, so now let's talk about the equations and then differentiate them and get few factors. U is equal to Q minus W. In the previous video itself, I explained what Q is, what W is, why is there a minus for W, why is there a plus for Q. Okay, so please check the previous video in case you have not checked. So now you will be having du is equal to dq minus dw, and again I have said dq is equal to dst because of your second law of thermodynamics, and dw is equal to minus pdv, I'm sorry, dpdv because of your mechanical work done. So when you substitute, du will be equal to dst minus pdv. Please have that in mind. Say equation number 1. Next is dh is equal h is equal to upv, so dh is equal to du plus pdv plus vdp. You have differentiated all throughout and then substitute 1 here. So dh is equal to dst minus pdv plus pdv plus vdp. This and this will get cancelled, so dh will be equal to tds plus pdv. Okay, very simple. Next is G. So let me do it here. Pg is equal to dH minus SDT minus TDS, and then dH is equal to TDS plus VDP minus SDT minus TDS, plus TDS minus TDS gets cancelled, so it's VDP minus SDT. We use this equation only to compare and get a relation between your actual Gibbs energy and then your partial molar Gibbs energy, and then your various factors. The chemical potential and all was included here. Okay, so and I compared also the equations. You have to check the previous video for that. Next is the concept which we haven't seen at all, which is supposed to be Helmholtz potential. Again, as I said, Helmholtz potential, for now you know the word and then know the equation, and then when I make the other videos, I will give you detailed description on what Helmholtz potential is. Okay, so now Helmholtz potential, which is equal to U minus Ts. Differentiate, you can write it as dF or dA. For now I'm writing it as dF. dF is equal to du minus dt, minus SDT minus TDS, and then next is I'm bringing in the factor U, which is equal to dF is equal to dST minus PdV minus SDT minus PdV, and I think SDT no, minus TDS, okay, minus TDS. So dST and then minus dST gets cancelled, so this is equal to minus PdV minus SDT. Okay, so now you will make use of all these equations, jumble up, substitute, do all permutations and combinations to get the relations. So now let's just go on to the actual topic. So before that, let me note down these things so that I can refer and then do. Okay, so write dF or dA for now. It's minus PdV minus SDT, and then write dG as VdP minus SDT, dH as TdS minus plus VdP, du as TdS plus VdP. Okay, so now let me rub this off. So now let us find the relation between your mu and u. That means your chemical potential and internal energy. So now for this, let's proceed in this way. So now the way in which we are going to proceed now is, so first You take your G, and G that is equal to H minus Ts, and then write G, substitute for H, which is U plus PV minus Ts, and then afterwards leave it like that. Do not substitute for U. You need not. And then differentiate du plus dpv. Oh, sorry, it's better you write the constant first. vdp plus pdv minus tds minus sdt. So now we know what the formula is for dg with respect to your fundamental property equation, right? It is supposed to be vdp minus sdt plus sigma I mu I d ni, and that is equal to du plus vdp plus pdv minus tds minus sdt. So now cancel the common factors. pdv, vdp gets cancelled, minus sdt, and then minus sdt here gets cancelled. So you'll be getting sigma mu I dni equal to du. Okay, so now I think du plus pdv minus tds. When will sigma I mu I dni be equal to du? When will these two factors be equal? When these two factors become 0. Now when will these two factors become 0? When s is 0 and when s bs. So okay, now s cannot be 0, only bs can be 0, and v cannot be 0, only dv can be 0. V cannot be 0, only dv can be 0. So under constant temperature and pressure conditions, I can write mu I as du by dn. Okay. But then I have to write constant volume and constant. So am I clear? Am I clear? Yes, I hope I'm clear. So now these two factors, pdv and tds, must be 0. So ds and dv must be 0 and not s and v. When you make them 0, you can get your relation sigma mu I dni is equal to du. And then I'm taking dni to the other side and then making mu I with respect, finding a relation for mu I with respect. So I think I'll bring in the partial derivative factor because that is the definition. So mu I is equal to dou u by dou ni, but then the condition is constant entropy, constant volume, and as obviously your Nj, which is supposed to be the number of moles of the other component, must be constant. Okay, so now next is you are going to find the relation between Ui and A, which is the Helmholtz potential. Okay, so now I hope I made this point clear. So now if we go to the next one, which is Ui and A, again you're supposed to do the same way. First is your dA. I've already derived what dA is. It is minus pdv minus sdt. Okay, so now next I have to include the Gibbsian equation, which is G is equal to H minus H minus Ts, dg is equal to dou H minus Ts, and then afterwards I am supposed to write dg as du plus pdv plus vdp minus tds plus sdt. Okay, so now next what are we supposed to do? Now can you see minus sdt here? Can you see minus sdt here? Can I write minus sdt equal to dA plus pdv? Can I write? Yes, I can, because I'm taking this pdv to the other side. I can find one minus sdt in this equation as well. Substitute this here. Okay, so now this is all you will have to use your brains and then figure out the concept. pdv plus vdp minus tds plus dA plus pdv. Okay, so now next our main work is to write du in terms of your TDS and minus PDV, because you don't need the U component here. Previously you wanted the U component, so you didn't substitute, but now you don't need it, right? So we are not increasing the number of steps. So I'll write this du as TdS minus PdV. Okay, right? Minus PdV. So now next let me substitute for dg here. Okay, so now dg is equal to VdP minus SdT, and then you're supposed to include even your sigma I d di bar and a dni, and that is equal to minus PdV plus PdV gets cancelled, so TdS plus VdP minus TdS plus dA plus PdV. Minus TdS plus TdS will get cancelled, and then you'll be left with dA, PdV, and then VdP. But then here again you have one more VdP here. Okay, cancel this out as well. So you will be left with sigma I gi bar ni equal to dA plus SDT plus PdV. When will this be equal? When will sigma I gi bar ni, gi bar ni be equal to dA, which is a change in your Helmholtz potential, when your dt becomes 0. When dt equal to 0, when dV equal to 0, sigma I gi bar ni will be equal to A. I can write this as gi bar equal to dA. And again dni. I think I forgot the dni here. Okay, I think I forgot dni. So yes, dA, and then you will have a dni. This becomes dou component because that is the definition for your gi bar, and then it is at constant temperature and constant volume. Okay, constant temperature and constant volume, and then I can write this as mu I. I hope I made myself clear. It's a very easy concept. So now next let me bring in the factor h. How is h related here? Okay, mu I and h. So pause the video and you can note it down, and then you can continue. Okay, let me rub it and then wind up this session faster, so that the next session, which will be the next video, will be doing about the ideal solutions, properties of ideal solutions. Okay, so now let's bring in, so you know G is equal to H minus dA, and then dG is equal to dH minus, this is a very simple one. Okay, so you'll have SdT minus TdS. Okay, so now next is write VdP minus SdT plus sigma I gi bar dni is equal to dou H minus SdT minus TdS. So now minus SdT plus minus SdT on the other side gets cancelled. So sigma I gi bar dni is equal to dH minus TdS minus VdP, and then this equation, which is sigma gi bar dni, will be equal to dH only if ds equal to 0 and dp equal to 0. So you will write gi bar equal to dou H by dou Ni only when your pressure is constant, entropy is constant, and then in all the cases you will write Nij is constant and not equal to anything. I must have not written for one or two relations, but you are supposed to write Nj bar not equal to Ni, Nj not equal to Ni. Okay, and I can write this Gi bar as mu1. So I have related a chemical potential with your enthalpy, internal energy, Helmholtz potential. So as I said, other details on chemical potential, about the properties, how it varies, relationships and all, I will be doing it in the subsequent videos, but the next video will be about ideal solutions. And apart from ideal solutions, you will also be learning about your Raoult's law, how is it applicable for ideal solution, and then about actual solutions, followed by colligative property, fugacity, and electrochemicals. There's a lot of topics ahead. Okay, so thank you. Please keep watching all the videos.